Guess what? My sister's getting married. And I'm going to do her makeup trial on camera. So you can follow it through, and if you're getting married, then you can use the same tips that I'm using for Polly.
4 days to go.
Yes! All right, so I've prepped Polly's skin and I've used the Kiehl's Glow Formula Skin Hydrator. And because Polly's getting married abroad, I'm going to be using a chemical sunscreen, but just a very small amount. I don't want to use a mineral one because I don't want to have that kind of ghastly glow over her face, which you can get especially with flash photography, although we'll be using all the gorgeous sunlight, won't we?
Absolutely.
As the sun sets. But I'm just going to do it just over the front panel of her face where she would catch the sun naturally, but this disappears beautifully into the skin and it's great pre-makeup. And that's the cooler SPF that I talked about in a previous video that doesn't have alcohol. So it's so important when you're getting married abroad that you really, really pay attention to your skin. Now, Polly's skin is gorgeous. You've never ever had any issues with your skin. It's probably just a little bit dry if it's anything. So for Polly, it's all about hydration and smoothness. So I'm going to use this Matte Miracle Primer on Pole. It's by a brand called Cosmetics a la carte. Now this is made in London and I've used this brand for years and years. In fact, I used to use their products when I came out of college because they did these great makeup palettes in old CD palettes, which were just wonderful. This is their new primer. So if, like Polly, that you've got a drier skin, you just want to make sure that the skin is really smooth at the front. So it's a bit like DIY. You want to use the primer just to fill in and sit on top of the pores. When the foundation goes on, it goes on really smooth. And for any bride, whatever your skin, you want to make sure that the centre panel, the T-zone area here, is always matte, because you want to have that lovely glowy skin, but you don't want to glow in the oily areas of your face here. So if you use mattifying products in these areas, you don't have to overload the skin with powder.
But it won't dry my skin, the primer.
No, this won't dry your skin. It just absorbs any excess oil but keeps it really smooth. Okay, so a perfect bridal foundation is Skin Longwear Foundation by Bobbi Brown. Now this is oil-free. It's going to last for ages. It is a matte finish, and I know that you really don't wear that much foundation at all, do you?
No, it tends to be more dewy than matte.
Because Polly has lovely skin, so she can just enhance the texture of her skin. She doesn't need to necessarily conceal anything. But because I want her skin to look really perfect for the entire wedding, I'm going to use this foundation, one, because it feels really light, but two, because it's really going to have a great longevity on her skin, but it's not going to look heavy. Now I'm using the darker shade here of 4.5 because, like me, Polly's got a whiter neck. Now I think we'll probably do a little bit of fake tan, won't we, up until the day, but it's just nice to kind of make sure that your skin is completely the same colour, your face, your neck and your chest, so that it meets your gown beautifully. But you don't really want to have makeup around there, so try and use a very gentle graduation of fake tan before you get married, so you don't have to bring makeup down to your chest, but you need to make sure that all that skin tone is beautiful. You can see I've got two colours here because I'm going to gradually go in with a lighter colour towards the centre panel of Polly's face.
So will we need to top up the foundation during the course of the day?
No, this is why I'm using a long wearing foundation. Okay. I'm going to really blend it into the skin, but when I've applied it, you might look at it in the mirror and go, oh, it's too heavy, Kaz, I don't feel comfortable with that. But it will settle into the skin, and because we want it to last for sort of 10 hours and for you to look picture perfect, it's really important that we do a nice light coverage of a long wear foundation.
It doesn't feel heavy.
Good.
It doesn't feel heavy.
Such a nice base.
10 hours is a long time.
Yes, I mean, it's a guideline. I think, I don't really know how you can sort of say exactly how many hours. Look up for me, because it does depend on your skin, it does depend on where you are. But as a guideline, you know that it's a long wear foundation. So if you just look down there to the lens for me, lovely.
Well, I tend to touch my face quite a lot, so I think I might put it to the test.
Brilliant, great. You can have a little look to the mirror there, Paul.
Great.
Does that look heavy?
No, it doesn't look heavy, nor does it feel heavy. So if it lasts for 10 hours, that's the result.
Well done, Bobbi Brown. Right, so I've used the colours, I've migrated them together with the two foundation brushes. So I'm going to use a smaller brush now just to go into all the little nooks and crannies of your face, just to build it up. Now, the beautiful thing is that because it dries matte, you don't need to have too much powder. And powder is one of those products that never looks that great in the heat because it can congeal.
Yeah, it's not the look I was going for.
No, exactly. So we need to go delicate with the powder, and we'll also be using some lovely blotting papers as well. You go for a sheer powder, something that really absorbs the skin's oils rather than just using powder to pile on your skin to absorb the natural oil, or maybe, sweat when it's getting really hot in. Okay, so a little bit of highlighting concealer, and I'm a big fan of by Terry Denseless concealer. Now I'm going to use this just in your eye here, just slightly toward perfect. This inner corner of the eye you always want to brighten, and this is great for dry skin, this concealer. Again, I wouldn't put a very mattifying concealer around your eyes. I've already put a little bit of foundation, that's enough. But this concealer is really sort of dewy and it sits well into the skin and it doesn't make it look dry.
Why would you not put a mattifying concealer around the eyes?
So if you put a heavier concealer around it, it then becomes obvious and it just looks a little bit crepey. You need to have a lighter concealer around the eye so that it sits on a finer texture of skin.
Right. Makes sense.
Now if you've got darker bags under your eyes or you haven't slept, using a colour corrector, if you've got darker pigment under your eyes rather than bags, that doesn't sound very nice, does it? Just using a peach colour corrector is another way to kind of knock back the colour without having to go in with a heavy concealer. Right, I'm going to take this palette with us. It's a favourite of mine, it's Cover FX, because I can mix and match the concealer colours. In fact, there's hardly any areas on your face that I need to perfect.
So obviously in the heat, the skin gets red in certain places. Would that then help that? The concealer palette help that?
Yeah. We're not going to use any reds at all on your skin, so you will have that.
Yeah.
So we're just going to use more neutral colours and kind of keep it more tanned and peachy. Try and avoid using any pinks for that reason, because you will just become warm anyway.
Yeah.
This is a lovely product for brides abroad. Zoeva, it's called Corona, and it's a beautiful gel highlighter.
Oh, wow.
So put your finger in there, have a little
It's
look.
like jelly. Oh, it's really soft.
Really soft, but also it's really lightweight and it's cooling on the skin.
Yeah.
So I'm going to place this just down the bridge of your nose and just turn your little face to me. And just around the outside here, because this is where I want the glow. Let's create a beautiful shape on your cheekbone. On the other side. Under the cheekbone, and make sure that you use all your creams before you apply any powder, and then it will really help to bring out your cheekbones as well. But it's just nice because it's cool, it's not too oily, this texture, and it just sits on the skin beautifully.
And I'm assuming that will pick up quite nicely in the photos, would it?
Yeah, really beautiful. So we get a nice soft light, but nothing that's too over the top, like nothing that's really a strong stroby highlighter. You don't want that.
Oh, no, yeah.
You want your skin just to look radiant. So I'm going to go with one of my favourites at the moment. This is a Cheek Tint by Gillian Dempsey. Now these are matte, they haven't got any sparkle or anything in them. They've got a really, really beautiful colour to them. This is called Petal. I'm just going to do it with my finger, and this is just like a perfect bridal flush at the front of the cheek.
So most of it with the blusher is on the cheekbone, like that was almost where you smile.
You smile for me. I'm just going to take it from the apple of your cheek and then blend it upwards and outwards. Not too high, so I want to keep this nice and light under your eyes. And then take it across, so just so that it connects with that nice highlighter. You want everything to last as long as it can, but to look as soft as it can, so that you're just enhancing your natural features and you just look incredible without looking like you've got lots of makeup on. Happy with that?
Absolutely. It's everyone's dream, isn't it?
Right, so for the powder, I'm going to use Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush. I'm going to use this in the number 2, so this is actually a slightly lighter shade than what your skin tone is. And I'm just going to use this angled brush just to push it into those areas that we don't want shine. It's a super, super light powder.
So you go a shade lighter?
Yes, just very fractionally. It just dissolves into your skin, but I just don't want it to look muddy. And because we've gone slightly lighter around the T-zone of your face, you want to keep that lightness, and sometimes you can just go over your beautiful skin you've created with the foundation and then make it all the same colour. So I'm trying to create that lovely kind of lightness here, going into warmth to the back of your face. So next I'm going to use my favourite bronzer. It's a matte bronzer by Delilah. Use it on my Bobbi Brown brush. This is actually a blush brush, but it's really nice and firm. And I'm going to take this bronzer all the way through your hairline. Wedge it very gently at the back of your cheekbone, not really creating a contour, but just adding a nice little bit of dimension just at the back of your face, which again throws your features forward. It's all those little subtle things that make the difference. So again, just wedging it under here, pushing it through into the hairline here. What do you think?
Great.
Like that? You like that?
Yeah, really like it.
Okay, so there we are with skin looking lovely, radiant, polished, sophisticated. Let's go in with the brows. Now Pol has been really good. She's had really animated shaped brows, haven't you, for a long time?
Dreadful, dreadful eyebrows.
So we stopped plucking, we used Rapid Lash, and we've come to a really good place now with her brows. But because she's got a small shape between her lash and her brow here, we want to make sure that we define the brows, really lifting them and shaping them, not going any darker because that's going to shrink her eyes. So we're just going to use a very fine brow ink just to really pull them out.
They're quite holy.
They are quite gappy, aren't they? Yeah. So we're going to be using Anastasia's Dip Brow. If you just come to me, darling, and a very sharp angle brush. And this is a cooler colour because I just want to create shadow. So I'm not going to be using like a deep brown or anything like that. I just want to really enhance the shadow of your brow. So it looks like you've got more hair without actually taking your brows darker.
You're filling in the gaps.
Yeah, filling in the gaps, I said, to put it concisely. Keeping it really soft. The last thing you want is a strong, heavy angled brow on your wedding day. You want the photos to be timeless, don't you? You want to look back and just think, wow, it looked gorgeous.
Yeah, very classical.
Yeah, and I'm just going to pull out Polly's brow just very slightly here on the outside, just making it a little bit longer, following the shape of her eye, and just painting in a few fine hairs on the outside. And that just brings that out and makes it look a lot stronger. That looks lovely.
Oh yeah, you can really notice the difference between the two.
Yeah. Okay, so for Polly's eyebrows, we've used soap, we've used setting gels, but I'm going to use spray because I'm just worried of maybe her eyes getting a little bit foamy. She gets a bit sweaty with the soap. So we're just going for hairspray just to kind of keep the brows set in place and lift it up. She's got quite lazy eyebrows.
They are.
And just to keep them lifted. Hairspray's a great way, I think, to keep brows in place. Nice, gorgeous. Happy so far?
Yes.
Right, so on with the eyeshadow. I'm going to be first using the NARS Smudge Proof, close your eyes for me, eyeshadow primer. Now, in my experience, this is the best one. And again, we're going for longevity. So an eye primer, even if you don't find that your eyeshadow smudges, it will just give you longevity, especially if you're in the heat. So just use it on the applicator, blend into this, and you can use, you know, obviously I've put foundation over because I was evening out Polly's skin tone, and even a little bit of concealer, but you can use this straight over the top, that's fine, it will dry, but it's just a really good base to keep your eyeshadow in place. I found the most loveliest palette from Laura Geller. It's called Iconic Nude. These are such beautiful shades. Like, I love rosy colours for brides. This has got some beautiful mattes and taupes and browns, and I'll use this for myself, my sister and my mum. So we're just going to take this palette. Right, you can have a look now.
Oh, I like the shimmery ones.
Like the shimmery ones, yeah?
Absolutely.
So how do you imagine your eye makeup to look?
I want it to look quite natural.
Yeah.
I don't want to look sort of heavy, staged. And because I like all the dewiness, I kind of like the shimmery ones.
Okay.
So almost like a shimmery, smoky eye.
Yeah, you can do that, absolutely.
Is that a thing? I'm not
yeah,
sure.
That's definitely a thing, Paul. Definitely, I can assure you. So I think what we'll do is we'll use these two colours here. We're going to go that to keep your shimmery eye, keep it all glossy and make your eyes look big. And then we're going to use this taupey colour to just frame your eye and give you a little bit of shape. All right?
Perfect.
Going in with a flat brush, pushing that in just lovely, right into the corner of your eye there. Oh, this is beautiful. Actually, this has got a lovely kind of pinky hint to it as well. I'm going to take that probably halfway across your eye. Really push the eyeshadow in. Push, 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 push.
Do you push it to stop it falling down?
Exactly. Push it to stop the pigment from falling, but also push it to condense the pigment so you get a great amount of colour payoff. And I'm lifting your eye here just so that the powder sits in all the areas of the skin. Now I'm going to take it across like that because I'm going to go with the darker colour. I'm going to take a clean brush so I get a nice true colour payoff from that darker shade. Now this is a matte shade, so I'm using the matte shade here just to throw your eye forward.
To throw my eye forward? What does
to
that
make
mean?
your eyes look bigger. So if I use the shimmery colour, it would become a little bit more one-dimensional, but the matte colour just at the back here will give your eye more dimension. So just take that V shape, following your eye shape. If you just get familiar with your eye shape and see, you know, where your socket is, where the outside of your eye is, it then becomes easier to put makeup on. I think sometimes we put makeup on when we're actually not looking at our features, but use your features as a guideline to really help you see where to put the lighter and darker shades. I'm just using the flat side of a cotton bud to blend. I'm going to use the tip of that cotton bud just to really push the colour into your socket. And open for me. Just take down the lens for me. And then I'll blend these two together with a clean brush. And just take it up to the brow. Blend, blend, blend is the key. Okay, we'll just do the other side now. Right, so next I'm just going to take the cotton bud, again with the matte powder on, and I'm just going to take it underneath your lash line very softly. And because this is powder, it's just going to create a nice soft effect. Just look in the lens for me. Really nice soft effect around your eye. Don't want anything hard. If I was to do a hard eyeliner, I would then start shrinking your eye. And I want to make your eyes look as big as possible. Right, so next I'm going to use an Inglot dark brown liner. Now this is a really beautiful dark brown. It's not red, it's not too glittery, it's just really kind of deep and gorgeous. I'm going to apply it, let's close your eyes, with a My Kit Girl lip brush actually, just because it's super flat and it really helps me wedge the liner in between your lashes. And that just pushes in. I prefer this because I don't want a kohl that's going to move. Once these dry, just open your eye for me, they really stay put. And I'm just going to take it really graduated, so when it comes to the inner corner here, Paul, we can almost hardly see it. And open for me. Nice, and that really gives a lovely lift and definition to your top lash. You're going to really pull up your skin and use this brush to push the liner into the lashes.
Do you pull it up to get rid of the wrinkles?
I pull it up to make a smooth line. You haven't got wrinkles. And open for me. Lovely. And then just to your left for me. That's it. And that just helps me just get right into that corner there, which is a really nice way to define your eye without it looking overly done. And to your right for me. Great. Now, just to soften again, take a clean cotton bud, close your eyes, and just take it over that line and blend it into the shadow and open for me. And then, once it's blended, just go in again, just because, close your eyes. You want to just keep it really rich and dense, but again, you want that graduated line so it's all soft and diffused. Great, and open for me now. Lovely. Gorgeous. How do you feel?
Oh wow. No, I really like the eyeliner.
So next, essential eyelash curling. Get down for me. I feel okay?
Yeah.
Good. There we go. And when you've taken the lashes out of the curlers, just pull them out to the side. Look down for me. Feel comfortable?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Wonderful. Now I'm going to be using Masterpiece Mascara in Waterproof. Before I put the lashes on, I'm going to use some little individual eyelashes on the outer corner of your eyes. I'm just going to create a base first. When you put individual lashes on, it's always nice to have a layer of mascara, put down for me, on your lashes first, because it creates a nice base for them to balance on.
It's definitely about the waterproof mascara for the day.
I know. Just a nice light base. Just directing the lashes up, putting them up in the centre and then out towards the edge. Okay, so next a little bit of Duo Adhesive, and we're going to be using the Ardell Duralash Natural Knot Free medium black. Now if you get the knot free ones, you're less likely to see the lashes because they haven't got that knot right at the base, and it almost looks like a little bulb. If you look down for me, doll. So I'm just going to place those beautifully on the outside. Now when you place them on the outside, you want to direct them slightly to the outside as well, not straight. So you get a nice lift on the outer corner of the eye. We'll probably be using about 6 on each side.
So obviously it seems quite effortless for you to put those in, but how difficult would it be to A, to put them on yourself, or B, for me to do it without your expertise?
Well, it's just practice. I think definitely putting the mascara on first, having a mirror that's close up. Some people prefer to put them on with their fingers, but it's like anything, isn't it? It's just practice. But you can get these quarter lashes, which are really good. Wispies do them, and they're like a mini false eyelash. It's like a collection of individuals that you can just place on the outer corner of your eye, which are really good for a lift and less fiddly. Put down for me.
And that's a dark glue. Are they all dark?
No, you can get a choice. I just prefer the darker glue because it doesn't look so obvious.
Yeah, cool.
They all dry clear. 2 more. Tricky part is you need to close your eyes to put them on.
What, when you're doing them yourself, obviously?
Yeah, and it's harder for you also to see what you're doing. Okay, just look towards the mirror for me. Lovely.
Oh wow, that makes quite a big difference already.
And then we'll wedge lots more mascara in. We're going to do a little cheeky mascara, and then we'll go in again and cap it with the waterproof.
Oh, that's great. See, I quite like to have those on all the time.
Yep. With lash extensions.
Right.
Right, Polly's lashes have dried, so I'm just going to use the same mascara and just really delicately, look up for me, apply it to her lower lashes. So the mascara on the top is going to be slightly heavier, just to give a little bit of a lift. Fabulous. Now I am going to be a bit cheeky, and I'm going to use another mascara because I love the brush. Now this is Lash Crown by Max Factor, and this brush is really, really thin. So it's going to help me wedge a little bit more mascara, look down for me, to the roots of Polly's lashes. But then I'm going to seal it with the waterproof. So I'm just using this brush to push right to the bottom. You can see I'm not going up to the tip of the lash, I'm just pushing it into the base. And it really helps to add extra definition to your eye without it looking sort of overly made up. And then, put down from Pole, that's it. Make sure you seal that mascara you've just applied, go over that same area, and then just pull out the lashes, connect them together, doing the second coat of mascara, make sure that those individuals are locked in with the other lashes and just gives a little bit of length, but don't apply too much mascara to the ends. Just literally wisp the brush over the lashes because you want them to look feathery and therefore natural. And curl it down.
I know when I've put eyelashes on before, admittedly not the single ones, but like, or attempted to, they honestly felt like I've Daisy the cow.
Yeah, and it's the thread, isn't it? It's that thick thread that then closes up your eye, especially with your smaller lid. But that looks beautiful. Well, yes, you may have noticed a small change in location. We thought we'd bring you to home. We were doing the makeup at home and Polly was like, but they're not going to see me on my day, really? So we've done the lashes, we're up to speed exactly where we were, and we're just going to go and apply our lip.
1 hour to go.
So, for your lip hole, you've chosen the Guerlain liquid lipstick and Winky Lux.
Yep, absolutely.
And this is beautiful because it has a little love heart in it.
The gorgeous love heart. The wedding lipstick.
The wedding lipstick. And it comes in a really beautiful case as well. So that's what we've chosen. So first of all, I'm going to use the Guerlain. So Polly wants a nice pop of colour to her lips. So if you just stretch your lips pole for me, using a liquid lipstick gives a really lovely shape to the mouth. It stains the lips so that when your lipstick does rub off, which obviously is inevitable at a wedding, you still get left with a nice lip shape underneath. You rub that together, Zoe, for me. And we went through so many coral lipsticks, didn't we, to find the right ones.
Absolutely.
Like my coral lipsticks were too pink on you, so we had to go for something that was a little bit more tangerine, didn't we, to work. So apply the liquid lipstick like that. Very, very softly, just to enhance Polly's lip liner. I'm going to use a little bit of lip liner. And always apply the lip liner when your lips are stretched, so you get a nice, even distribution of the product. Just really rounding out the top of Polly's mouth and into the corners. Gorgeous. And the final touch,
Here she is.
which I'm still going to apply just from the barrel because the moulding's so beautiful, I want you to keep it, which obviously it's probably just going to snap in half and fall on the floor at one point, but anyway. Stretch your lips. Oh, it's such a pretty colour. And rub together for me. Beautiful. It's just got a lovely, fresh coral edge to this lipstick. And then we'll take this in our bag and I can retouch for you throughout the day. Great. And just to soften Polly's lip, I'm just going to use my ring finger just to make sure there's no extra product around the edge of her lip.
Does that stop the seeping?
The seeping, yes, it stops the lipstick moving into any lines around your lips.
Great.
And you can feel confident it stays in place. You're absolutely gorgeous. So that's my little sister's makeup for her wedding. We are so excited. Are you happy?
Amazing. Thank you.
But bridal makeup's never straightforward. You always go, oh, I think I want that, and then you have it and you don't like it. Always good to kind of think about where you're going, to what products that you use, but she's gorgeous and we're very excited, and we hope you like the film.
And we're good to go.
Yay! Chat soon.